Okay, now I'd like to present problem 3. To get your daily value of vitamin C, you need to drink 3/4 of a liter of orange juice. If you drink a fifth of a liter of orange juice, then what fraction of your daily value of vitamin C will you get? There are a number of ways to solve this problem, and I'd like to demonstrate one small experiment for this. But before doing this experiment, I'd like to expect my students to understand some prerequisite materials, namely, they know how to do multiplication, and they need to know how to represent or how to present the number of partitions into fraction. So they will need some number of pebbles like this, and I would like to ask my students to collect some number of pebbles in order that this number can be divided or is divisible by 4 and 5 at the same time. So I think this would be the most challenging part of the solution, because the students need to do trials and errors in order that they can find the right number of pebbles. And maybe the finding of the students will be so various. Maybe some of them will collect 20, others will collect 40 and 60 and others. But for me, as long as the students can prove that the number of pebbles is truly divisible by 4 and 5 at the same time, I think any number would be acceptable, even though we understand that maybe having more pebbles will require more energy for solving this problem, but that's not a big deal. So I will ask my students to have the collection of same number of pebbles like this. I have two collections of 20 pebbles. This is 20 and this is 20. And then we know that they will drink 1/5 of vitamin C, or 1/5 of 1 liter of juice. And what they need is 3/4 of 1 liter of juice. So this represents 1/5 of 1 liter of juice. This is how much they drink. And this all represent 3/4 of 1 liter of juice. This is how much they need. So we can put the remaining of pebbles aside, because we only want to use the parts that we have taken for the next step. Like this. This one is the amount of vitamin C they drink. This is the amount of vitamin C they need. To compare these two objects, we only need to count each of them. So here there are 4 pebbles, and here there are 15 pebbles. So if you want to compare how much vitamin C they drink comparing to the vitamin C they need as a whole, it would be 4/15 of vitamin C needed. And if the students take different number of pebbles, I mean, maybe they take 40 or 60, maybe they will have 8/30, or even some of them will get 20/45, and so on. Actually, this can be an interesting finding, because later on we can explain to students that there are many equivalent fractions in the world. We can say that 4 over 15 is equivalent to 8 over 30, which is also equivalent to 12 over 45. So this kind of interesting to have different number of pebbles for the same problem, because we can also introduce the equivalent fractions after this experiment. So I think this is the solution for problem number 3. Thank you.